My name is Julia Atherley. I'm 24 and my job title is news reporter at The Sun. I got into journalism through student journalism. I was editing the student newspaper with a group of friends and we all just completely loved it, and we used to just run around Durham annoying people with stories they didn't want us to publish. And then I edited it in my final year, which was really good fun, choosing what was going to be on the front page and being able to watch the impact of those stories, which were kind of followed in the Nationals the next day, which was really exciting. And then I moved to London to do my NCTJ and then started on the Sun grad scheme about 2 years ago. The story I'm most proud of is a recent story I did about the inside of Putin's mega yacht. We exposed a yacht which Vladimir Putin owns, which is currently in a harbour in Italy. It's worth about 500 million. It's completely lined with gold loo roll holders, swimming pools that turn into dance floors, stuff like that. And it's just completely obscene. It was exposed at a time when Russia was invading Ukraine, and it's this man that only claims a small salary actually is the owner of this £500 million mega yacht. The people who inspire me the most are all the amazing female editors we have in our industry. When I was at school, I remember Kath Viner. She used to go to my school and they announced in assembly that she'd just been made editor of The Guardian. And I never really thought about journalism before that, but I remember finding that amazing and very inspiring that someone who'd sat, in the same school hall that I had gone on to be editor of a national paper. I thought that was amazing. I find it really inspiring working somewhere with a female editor as well. It's fantastic to work at The Sun with Vic, and especially in an industry which I think is still very male dominated. To have a figurehead like Vic at The Sun is very inspiring. The weirdest story that I've been involved in was when we did a story a few years ago about the ravens at the Tower of London getting lonely during the pandemic. They started to fly out of the Tower of London because there were no tourists that were going to visit them. And that's really bad because if the ravens leave the Tower of London, the monarchy falls, everything goes really wrong. So I had to go and meet the ravens, and there's pictures of me trying to feed them and getting bitten and meeting all the beefeaters and the team at the Tower of London. It was really good fun. The future of news for me is really exciting. I think it's going to be a lot more diverse. I think people have in their heads an image of a newsroom full of old white men, and I think that's going to change, and it's already changing quite quickly, which is very exciting. I also think the way that we're going to be telling the news will be quite different. I think print's going to stick around for a while, but online is so important, and that's exciting. It's exciting to be able to break a news story at 2 p.m. rather than having to wait until the next day. Online's really exciting because you've got just a lot more space. You're not limited to, a double-page spread or anything like that. What I love about my job is that every day is completely different and you never know where you're going to be. It's very much the case of if the news breaks, you need to put your coat on, grab your bag and go. And whether that's 200 miles away or on a plane to a different country or just down the street. Recently I went to Hungary to visit a Red Cross hospital on the border with Ukraine, which was really, really difficult actually. All the women, it was mainly women and children that were there who had fled the conflict, and most of them were from Mariupol, which I'm sure is a pretty horrible place to be at the moment. That was a very, very difficult conversations to have, and especially through an interpreter and things like that, but it's kind of jobs like that where you're sent out to meet people and to get the story and to come back and say, here's what's happening. That's what I really love about my job. Journalism matters because it's about holding power to account. It's about investigating, exposing and shining a light on things that people don't want to come to light.